This week on Afternoon Express, we open up to the joy of art and design as we attend the reveal of the all-new Hyundai Alcazar, a bold SUV that matches form with function. Mr. Supranational 2024, Fezile Mkhize inspires us with his world vision. Absa Letilia Award winner Lemaona challenges the meaning of masculinity with his creations. Cake artist Hoyle shows us her signature cupcake floral bouquets. We explore the inspiration and ideas behind international success story Imiso Ceramics. Ayanda and myself show how to transform your bathroom into a self-care sanctuary. And our setting is a home designed by architect and educator Kate Otten that feels like a treehouse emerging from the natural rock face.
Hello and welcome to the show. Today we are embracing the beautiful things in life, and when it comes to big style and bold features, Hyundai's new Alcazar is revving up all the excitement.
Its great design blends form and function, making it stylish, spacious and packed with smart technology. Kyle headed to the official launch in Wildersdrift to experience it all firsthand.
Hyundai is shifting gears and setting the pace for what an SUV can be. And today we're at the all-exclusive reveal of the Hyundai Alcazar. And this bold three-row SUV is known to bring together smart design and smart innovation, all while showcasing to you the space that you never even knew that you needed. And we're here to take a closer look as to why the Alcazar is making such an incredible impact on the motor industry. The Hyundai Alcazar is such an incredible machine with 3 rows as a compactable SUV. Tell me, what kind of market are you guys trying to target? And also, how are you guys resonating with the South African audience?
We are targeting families that wants to experience space, luxury, good value for money, total cost of ownership with great fuel consumption backed by our warranty. I mean, we cater for everybody, from our Grand i10 entry-level customer right through to the luxury vehicles, our Starry and our Palisade. And this is just another bow and our arrow with the Alcazar for young families or families that's looking for space and luxury.
You guys have really created such an incredible machine. 3 rows, exceptional. And I believe, obviously, over the customer insights and your long journey, you guys have really listened. Tell me how the Alcazar plays a part in that story.
Starting point is the styling. It's a very good looking vehicle. H-design daytime running lights. It's going to be very visible on the road, and this has been a massive improvement for us on the Grand Creator that we had. And then just the value package that we offer in terms of specification levels, and all inclusive in the retail price.
You guys are all about value and quality. Let's get a little bit technical here. From the technical insight point of view, what is a standout coverage from an Alcazar?
Value for money, rand for rand, it's going to be very hard to beat, especially with the diesel engine. None of the competitors have diesel engines. Probably a hidden gem in our lineup. The 1.5 diesel, 85 kilowatt, 250 Newton meters, and you drive, it's got enough power, it's got enough acceleration, and today with the fuel price at, call it 23 rand a litre, you can save buying a diesel Alcazar at least 30% over some of the turbo petrol competitors.
Guests at the launch included popular actress and SAFTA award winner Joanne Reneker. Joanne is an outdoorsy person, and this vehicle appeals to the adventurer in her.
My first impression of this beautiful car, the H in the front, the lights, the steering wheel. It not only adjusts up or down, pulls closer or further, depending on the length. If you're a short driver, closer. If you're long, you know what I mean? And it does that while you drive in real time.
Parenting and lifestyle influencer and creator of the Single Joburg Mom blog, Charisse Roberts was looking at the vehicle with 2 hats, as a keen traveller and as a mom.
My first impression of Hyundai Alcazar is luxury. It is like a family car that went to private school. Honestly, as a single mom with a little boy who does every extramural known to mankind and wants to be with all his friends all the time, it's spacious but beautiful at the same time.
We've seen the bold reveal, understood the business and the tech, and now it's time to test it out for ourselves. Let's take this bad boy for a spin. The way that it actually feels to drive the Alcazar is powerful and impactful. It's really here to keep you safe more than anything. It's got incredible safety and tech features, a lot of assistance while you're driving, which has been really amazing to witness and to see. And also I think the tech is really innovative and driving it feels like a power machine. I mean, it's got to keep 7 people safe. 3 rows of South Africans in one car. Makes sense. What I love the most about Hyundai is that they are continuously reshaping their brand in a way that really fits South Africa in the most exceptional way. And that's the Hyundai Alcazar, the perfect mix of style, space, and comfort. And whether it's just a young family holiday or a perfect getaway, this SUV has everything you need to make it more luxurious.
Now up next, we catch up with one of the busiest men in South Africa, Dr. Fezile Mkhize.
When you're smiling, when you're smiling, the whole world smiles with you.
Dr. Fezile Mkhize is a man of many talents. He's an actor, medical doctor, model, TV presenter, and pageants winner who was crowned Mr. Supranational in 2024.
As a man with so many hats, Fez is busy all over the globe. But luckily for us, we got to catch up with him in Johannesburg.
Born in Oslo Beach in KZN, Fez's journey has taken him from small-town beginnings to international acclaim, but home is where his heart is.
It's so good to see you. We love to see you back home. How does it feel to be in South Africa again?
It's always amazing coming back home. I think being able to travel, it opens up your eyes and allows you to see the world and all the beautiful things that there are. But for me, South Africa is always going to be the best country I'll ever be to.
Oh, and I mean, we're lucky enough to catch this lunch with you because tomorrow you're headed to the Philippines.
Yeah.
What's happening in the Philippines?
They're actually having their big male pageants coming through now. And as you know, with the male pageant world, there's multiple pageants that happen in any given point in time. And I've thankfully been asked as a guest to come see one of the winners there so that maybe they might be coming to Mr. Supranational this year.
Oh, I love that you immediately brought up pageantry. Yeah. It's the one thing cool people like you and myself have in common.
You know, it's really cool to say that you walked the pageant runway. I'm not saying that you aren't cool if you haven't, but are you really that cool?
Are you really though? And I mean, I have to jump into it and ask you, how did you get into the pageantry space? I mean, we had been seeing you on our screens forever, then you decided to hop into pageantry. How did that happen?
2019, I had done the Mr. World pageant and come first runner-up, but the build-up to that was that I'd always thought of the pageant world as something separate because I hadn't really engaged it, come from KZN, humble beginning, and I thought the pageant world was quite a niche, specific kind of world to get into. But somebody actually approached me, Armand. He was the national director for Mr. World South Africa. And he was like, hey, I think you're doing great work. I think this would be a great space for you to go into. I think my mind then shifted where I was like, okay, maybe pageantry isn't just about people trying to look good and walking up and down and kind of making people think, oh yeah, that's somebody who's very handsome or beautiful. It's people who are trying to better themselves as well as the communities around them. And then hopefully, if they do a good enough job, people can praise them and give them a title so that they can be a prism that shines a light on everything else that they're doing.
You obviously wear a bunch of hats. You're a doctor. Handsome counts as a job in itself. You're in the pageantry space, TV, media personality, actor, podcaster, the list goes on for so long. How do you encompass your philanthropy work with all of this happening?
It's very interesting because philanthropy is essentially interacting with people and trying to help those that need the help at any given point in time. And for me, that syncs up with being a doctor or a health professional in so many ways. So it almost seems like a no-brainer for me to be involved within those spaces. And I think for me, it's always just been the women in my life that have always spearheaded this idea of helping people. My mother was a teacher, became a headmistress, and then my aunt, who was almost the catalyst into me going into the Supra journey. And she was a teacher who became a headmistress, who then subsequently was able to really help one of the schools, Umlazi, doing all of this while having breast cancer, stage 4. was something where I was like, okay, she wasn't just about herself. She was about helping the kids in the community to be able to educate them. For me, it really is something that's very close to my heart. I'm somebody who wants people to be included within society and not feel kind of pushed away. And I take pause and I kind of think about all the communities that I've gone to and the people that I've interacted with and the stories that they've told me.
And he heard plenty of stories when he went on the journey of a lifetime as the co-host of the most recent season of Top Travel.
Listen, Fez, I was promised lunch.
You were, and the ambiance is great here, but there's a hidden gem. Let me actually take you. Huh?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
He loves to explore and to discover hidden gems, like the station in Parkhurst, which brings a part of London to suburban Johannesburg.
Now, I can't sit with you and not talk about Top Travel. You had the honor of hosting the show. What was that experience like?
Just looking back at it, it's humbling because growing up, little KZN boy, you kind of watch these larger-than-life personalities, Jeannie, Inez, traveling through, seems like this whirlwind adventure, and then to be able to be told that you have booked a hosting duty on a show like that, it really made me sit back and take pause because I'm somebody who fully believes in being grateful for everything that you have, but I could have never dreamt of being on a show like that. In terms of the things that kind of stick out, there's so many. We were able to go to Zanzibar, Kenya. I jumped with the Maasai. Imagine, Zulu warrior, or would-be Zulu warrior.
No, own it.
Just a Zulu warrior. Don't get me hyped, don't get me hyped, don't get me hyped. But it literally was the energy I was going in with.
You just listed so many beautiful countries that you experienced, and I know this may be a difficult question to answer, but where was your favorite destination and why?
Each one of them has a piece of my heart, and that's something I said on the show. Like I'd fall in love with various parts of Africa. We got to go to Amsterdam, so even there, I'm kind of internationally leaving remnants of my heart. But KZN, we went back home. We went to Orby Gorge. We were able to kind of navigate this two-man plane that was there. We were able to see the beaches that I grew up in and to be able to show Ness and everybody back home what makes our province so beautiful and so unique. Yeah, no, obvious. It has to be.
You can
KZN.
take the man out of KZN, but you can't take the KZN out of him.
I was gonna ululate, but then I realized I'm quasi.
Last year, you were crowned Mr. Supranational, and that's an international status. We're not talking local here. We're talking you flew all the way to Poland to be crowned Mr. Supranational.
Getting it was an experience because it's like 2 and a bit weeks, and you're there with these gentlemen who are handsome and exceptional and smart and all the positive things they have. And I think when you're there, you really realize that it has to be about your race. It has to be about what you want people to see and what you kind of embody.
Now, very soon, you actually headed to Poland to pass on the crown. How prepared are you to do that?
From the moment I received it, I think for me, I always like to, it's not exactly astral projection, but I like to tell myself at some stage this is going to be handed over. Yeah, I'm going to be very happy for whoever's stepping in because it has been a weight, but it's one I've been happy to carry.
Ah, my word, listen, if you don't add Trailblazer to the bio of your Instagram account, you are not serious.
Trailblazer, listen.
Trailblazer.
Protein will help me with that Trailblazer. This is really good, by the way. This is really good.
It really is.
You've been talking about your pageantry experience, and I think this is where our synergy is. I would actually like to see your catwalk, just to make sure that it's right. It's on point.
One thing I can assure you is that it is.
Okay.
But you are wearing the crown of Mr. Supra at the moment, so I'm going to make you take the lead on this one.
Oh, Yazin, let's do it.
Asambe.
Let's go.
First runner-up in the Mr. World pageant and winner of the Mr. World Africa title in 2019, Fez became the first African and the first black winner of the Mr. Supranational title in 2024.
Now ending off with the gigantic question, do you have any regrets in your life?
Whatever's happened has built you to become the person you are today, which can allow you to make better decisions. But if you didn't go through that, you wouldn't actually know what the better decision is. So I try not to have any regrets. But if there were things that I would do better, it's probably to be even more engaged with people, to interact and really try to go out into society and do the most good that I can from a young age.
And then what are some of the best parts of your life?
Being able to say I've come from very rural parts, humble beginnings, KwaZulu, KZN, being able to travel to places I never thought I'd be able to travel, being able to help people as a doctor. And then, I mean, just saying it out loud, I think the whole journey has been the highlight. And there've been tough times, but I think in the tough times, I appreciate the highs that much more. So I think my whole life at this point feels like a movie, to be honest.
It's perfectly okay to think of your life as being the best life. I know I walk around pretending that mine is.
There we go. I'll take that. Now that you've made it okay, you've made it okay for me to shine my light. It's a good life.
Speaking about traveling, this gorgeous restaurant that we're in looks like a train station, doesn't it?
Feels like you're somewhere in London, somewhere in the metro. Even the handlebars here, if you have a look at these handlebars, it's almost like you're in the train station trying to make sure that you don't fall.
I'm not going to pretend like I didn't see that bicep flex as you held on up there. So my mind immediately went to a challenge. I'm going to challenge you to not 1, but 3 pull-ups on this rail.
I love that she thinks 3 is a challenge. But yeah, it's you. It's fine. The queen will do it.
Let's get it. 1, 2. Okay. 3.
You know what? I'll give you 1 more, just because it's you.
Sass. Yes, sir.
Well, thank you so much. I need to go make sure I'm not late for my flight. It's been an honor.
Cheers. He saves lives with his hands and makes lives better with his smile, charm, and deep, deep humanity. Dr. Fezile Mkhize is quite an inspiration to not only young men in South Africa, but across the globe, all while strutting his stuff like no other on the runway.
Halala putwe to shine, Brother Fez. Well done on all of your achievements, and thanks for those insights. Up next, we explore this beautiful space designed by Kate Otten.
Today we are in a property designed by award-winning architect Kate Otten. With over 30 years of experience, Kate is celebrated for her contemporary and context-sensitive designs.
This is an architectural gem, serving as her personal studio and event space, but it can also effortlessly transform back into a family home.
Kate has given her home the apt name of Lulu Katikati, meaning pearl in the middle in Swahili.
Kate, thank you so much for inviting me to this stunning property. Can you just tell me a little bit more about your background as an architect and interior designer?
I started as an architect in my own practice, actually 1 year out of university. So I've been doing this for sort of, going on 35 years now. I think for me, the important part about the work that we do is how it kind of integrates interiors, exteriors, landscaping, and that's kind of very much part of the language of how I conceptualize buildings. This piece of property is a very small piece of property in Melville, which is almost in the heart of the city. It's a very small piece of land that was meant to be a road, but the property is too steep, so it couldn't become that. So I bought this piece of property. In fact, when I was still a student, I borrowed money from my mother and bought it. And then I kind of sat on it for years. And this particular building is perhaps one of my most exciting constructions for self, I would say.
When it comes to the plot that it stands in, how did that inspire this?
The context of a building and of a space is informed by where it is. So from the point of view of the actual physical site, which in here is on a very steep slope and it looks out towards the north koppies of Melville, which are beautiful views, etc. And then this incredible Dombeya tree. And all those things became the kind of informants of how the space has been designed. You'll see that it's quite a simple rectangular space, and then it stacks up on 3 different levels. Conveniently, you enter on the middle level, and what's lovely about the site is there's this opportunity for a bridge, which I think is unusual, which has this kind of wavy window, but a much more sort of contemporary and fun one. You must remember it's my house, so I can do kind of what I want. One of the exciting parts about the design of this house was how I wanted it to be quite like the trees in which it is placed. So you'll see that there are these 6 very tall gum poles that are each 9.5 meters high, and they weighed half a ton each. Parts of the building sort of hang off these. I mean, I think that as architects we quite like to make things almost difficult for ourselves so that we have these challenges and these wonderful opportunities that arise out of that. So yes, those were all sort of very important informants in how the design came to be.
Talk about making every square meterage count. Now I'm so excited to explore the spaces you've already spoken about.
Come with me, let's go and see. So welcome. Here we are at the middle level of my house, and what you see is how it kind of integrates with the outside. Firstly, that you read now this one singular space, that then is the living room and the dining room at this stage, and you'll see that all the materials are unusual. So the walls are made out of plywood, obviously insulated, and then there's another material on the outside, and that instead of having one kind of vast sliding aluminium doors that open to a view, it's more around making variety of views. So just as that is an artwork that you look at, so the tree is its own kind of artwork.
Already I'm picking up so many different color palettes coming through, but they all seem to work perfectly together.
It is a vibrant space, and I think also that each level and each space that comes off those levels has a different kind of color language, and there are lots of different colors. Sometimes, for example, this space has got a lot of green in it and black, and if you look at the tree has got a black trunk and green leaves, so it kind of references the places beyond it.
Clearly you were quite intentional when it comes to the colors chosen within the space. Was the same intentionality placed on materials?
Very much so. So what you will see all over the place is the idea of reuse, recycle, and trying to make a building that kind of touches the ground lightly, quite sort of literally in the way that it hangs off the structure, but also how the material, so for example, the floor here is parquet that I collect over the years, but then how you take what that is a reused material and kind of transform it. So I've stained it very dark so that it gets a kind of new life about it.
Kate, I truly believe that the kitchen is the heart of the home, but walking into this living space, I'm not seeing a kitchen. Is there an element of surprise you've been able to incorporate?
So come with me, let me show you the kitchen. Here you see it looks like a wall,
yeah,
but in fact it's a door. And if you open that, the kitchen reveals itself.
I was about to say, it kind of feels like that angelic call. Pink is my favorite color and the kitchen is my favorite room.
Well, here you are, everything you need. And then what you can do is close it again once you've kind of made a mess and etc. in the kitchen, or you just want, privacy between the spaces.
When you're entertaining, messy dishes are not a problem. Just close the hidden door and leave cleaning up to later.
Stepping onto the 3rd floor, which is the top floor of your home, I love the natural light coming in. It is open, it is airy, and it's bright.
This is very much about the bedroom space and how it's kind of light. The lightness of it is also about the color, but also about that you're up here in the sky. You also get the same idea about views out at lower levels. So from the bed, you see the sun rise. From that other bedroom, you'll see the sun set.
What is your design approach when it comes to the bedrooms and the more intimate spaces in the home?
So I like to use soft colors in a bedroom that are kind of quieter and more kind of cozy and intimate. We've got off-whites and greys and a lovely kind of charcoaly blue. And then I have a collection of these fabrics, which are from Madagascar.
I believe art plays a very important role in interiors.
Absolutely agree with you, and I think that the selection of art per space is very much about those spaces. So the bedroom, which is an intimate space, you can see here is a painting that my grandmother did, and over there is a painting that is done by a friend of mine of her daughter, who is my godchild, or dog child, because we both love dogs. And you can see they're quite sort of soft colors, quite ephemeral. And I think that that is, for me, about sleep and about the privacy and the intimacy of a bedroom space.
No family home would be complete without a bedroom for the children, and this space embodies a sense of warmth and sunshine perfect for children of all ages.
Now this bedroom, it is giving me sunshine and roses and that ray of light.
So this is, I think, envisaged more as a child's bedroom. Wonderful views out over the koppies. You'll see also more cheerful, sort of brighter colors, and then the artworks following suit.
Throughout our conversation, you've been able to allude to the fact that each space has its own purpose. So I'm definitely looking forward to delve deeper into the very bottom basement level and to see the vibe and the mood that you've been able to accomplish there.
Absolutely.
Securely suspended between the natural rock face and a 100-year-old indigenous wild pear tree, it feels like a treehouse connected to both the sky and the earth.
Kate, we're at the lower level of the home, which feels more cooler and more grounded.
This level is very much about being in the rock face, part of the kind of rocks and almost cave-like, I think, is how I would describe this space.
What was your design approach here?
So this level is kind of multi-purpose space, actually. We're currently using it as a studio. At the same time, it's a lovely family room. We had a big, long table down here before. An event space is how we've used it. And that all opens out onto the outdoor living area, which is sort of on solid ground, not floating above as the others are.
Something else that keeps coming up is, walking into this room, you cannot ignore the lights. And you have been able to echo the same sentiments throughout the home. So what was your design approach when it came to all the lighting in the space?
There's a complete excess of lights. Not all of them switch on. Some of them are to kind of create the effect of a cloud. The idea is that there's the kind of a central cloud that is kind of illuminating this space.
Not only do you have this incredible building within the 3 layers that you've created in the home, but there's also a sneaky cottage in the garden.
The cottage has its own private entrance. It's a 1-bedroom cottage, beautifully equipped with, full kitchen, its own private deck.
Exploring your space, there's so many interesting standout features, but for yourself as an architect, interior designer, and also had a keen eye with the landscape, what is a unique standout feature for yourself?
So I think this entire house is unique. It's kind of unique in every respect, and something that I think is unusual. You continuously live in this space in different ways and in new ways.
You've truly created the perfect opportunity to experience an oasis, a retreat-like feel, but in the heart of Melville. Thank you so much, Kate.
It's been a pleasure.
As part of her commitment to molding the next generation of South African architects, she lectures internationally and mentors young practices. For Kate Otten, it's all about sharing her knowledge to help others grow.
What an inviting place. Thank you so much, Kate, for having us over. We thoroughly enjoyed it. Up next, we meet Absa Letelier award-winning artist, Pulu Ngombete.
In celebration of art and culture, we join Absa for the launch of their exhibition series, an initiative celebrating creativity of their L'Atelier ambassadors. Today, I am thrilled to talk to mixed media artist Lawrence. Lawrence is known for shaking up traditional views of masculinity. Lawrence uses his rugby background to challenge and reimagine the macho figure. Lawrence, thank you so much for inviting me into your very creative space.
Thank you so much. Thank you for coming.
Now, can you describe how your experiences as a rugby player shaped your perspective on masculinity and influenced your artistic vision?
Upon me being selected to play for the Gauteng Lions, I noticed that when they selected the list of players, they would put asterisks next to particular types of names. And then I asked my coach, why is this the condition? And he told me that because there was a quota system that was set in place. So that idea kind of got me to question why I was selected. Was I selected for political reasons? Was I selected for my talent? And that for me became a really interesting kind of point of departure for making the work. And so hence why the use of pink, the use of traditionally feminine forms of masculinity. And so I used the energy that I had in rugby to make art.
And looking within, being of Sotho heritage, how has this been able to impact not only where you come from and your identity, but your work?
The kind of traditions of initiation and stick fighting, all of those things were kind of not happening. And so for me, that missing part was filled in with sport, with kind of traveling between Welkom and Soweto, and thinking about how these traditions are in a flux. They're constantly changing, but at the same time they have a sustained essence. I'm Sotho speaking, but I hang around with Afrikaans boys, I hang around with Sotho boys, I hang out with Zulu boys, and for me that is kind of the formation of tradition, and for me that kind of idea of constructing identity as you go along is part and parcel of what I make in the work.
Now it's time for me to catch up with Dr. Paul Bayliss to find out how Absa is supporting artists like Lawrence.
As Absa's art curator, I've been very privileged to work with the Absa Atelier. It's been running for 38 years and is a Pan-African competition run across Africa where we as Absa have a footprint. The competition is focused on young emerging artists, giving them a footprint into the visual arts industry and helping to build up their brand within their respective countries. We're celebrating the culture, the diversity that makes South Africa what it is. And artists play that important role because they're coming across different cultures, they're coming across different language, they're giving a voice to those people that might not necessarily have a voice and share those people's stories where before we might not be able to hear those stories. Artists play that role for us and bring to the fore important aspects of identity, society, culture, and what makes us truly South African.
It is truly incredible to see South African art being celebrated in such a way. So shout out to you, Absa. But next, we move on to an artist who expresses herself through her baking. Lyne Hoyle is the owner of Cakes by Lyne, a bespoke bakery that sets itself apart by catering and creating floral bouquets that taste just as good as they look.
At the age of 52, Lyne followed her passion and enrolled in a patisserie course. Today, she's the proud owner of Cakes by Lyne, where every cupcake tells a story of courage, creativity, and second chances.
After completing my patisserie course at Silwood in 2019, I discovered 3 incredible ladies in the UK who had developed this new art, creating beautiful floral cupcakes from butter and icing sugar. So I then started learning from them and then started the wedding design and the wedding cakes and taking the technique further in chocolate and creating anything from flowers, and that is how Cakes by Lyne began. The baking aspect came from my mum, where I used to sit in the kitchen and watch her. She was an incredible cook and also would create the most incredible creations for our birthdays, which inspired me and stayed with me. It was something that I wanted to give our children, and I think that is where the love of the creation of working with cake became, and then developed into an art form where I then was able to incorporate the things that I had learned from my gran, the embroidery, which I love to then do on my cakes as something different. This is the stump work embroidery that my gran taught me to do, and how you actually create it is that you take little pieces of wire and you mold it into the design that you want to do, if it's a little leaf or a flower petal. And this is something that I love to incorporate onto my cakes, and using the buttercream icing to recreate this design. What I'm going to be creating for you today is a 3-tier wedding cake. I have already baked the carrot cake, which is going to be on the bottom tier, and the second tier that I have completed is the red velvet tier, which is red velvet cake, which is filled with the mascarpone cream. And then what I'm going to be baking for you today is the vanilla cake to complete the 3-tier wedding cake. I love to bake anything, particularly when a client phones me and gives me carte blanche to be creative for her celebration or his celebration. be it a wedding cake, be it a birthday cake, be it a children's cake, and they just say, Lynn, just do what you need to do. So the creativity for me is the part that I absolutely adore. But then I also really appreciate flavor and what you can put into a cake to make it taste delicious. Not only the cakes that you bake, but also the fillings that you do. Whether you're filling it with a milk tart filling or a caramel filling or a fruit compote, there's so many different combinations just to bring out the flavors in whatever you are baking. So that for me is just an absolute privilege to create something special for my clients. I have a piping bag here to emulate nature and to make the cupcakes or flowers, whatever you are creating, look as natural as possible. It's often necessary to use different coloring techniques. I am incorporating a two-tone coloring technique, and I am piping a beautiful poppy which will be used in a cupcake bouquet. The client has requested a variety of colors of poppies in her bouquet and some daisies just to make the bouquet pop.
I think Lynn has taken her passion and converted it into something that makes everybody happy, and at the same time it's a very good business. And I'm just there on the periphery, fetching and carrying and helping where I can. So that's my contribution to things. And yeah, at the end of the day, it's a good team effort, but Lynn certainly is amazing at what she does.
I'm happy with the bakes today. I hope that my clients will be happy. That's always the telltale sign when I get some messages back from them. But I think it's good. The cake is tasty, so I hope my bride and groom will be happy.
You stand a chance of winning one of Lynn's beautiful cupcake bouquets and a piping masterclass on how to make your own buttercream floral creations. To enter, let us know what you are enjoying the most on this week's show. Share your answer on the competition post on our Afternoon Express social media pages and include #Afternoon Express in your answer. T's and C's apply.
Oh my goodness, those cupcake flowers look almost too beautiful to eat. Well done, Lynn.
And you know, palisa means flower, so being able to see those sweet, sweet flowers decorated on those cupcakes, bravo, Lynn. Coming up though, we meet Andile Galvane and Zizipo Poswa, the dynamic duo behind contemporary African art studio, Imiso Ceramics.
Watching artists at work is truly a wonder. From humble beginnings, Andile Galvane and Zizipo Poswa have established themselves as world-class artists, and their studio, Imiso Ceramics, specializes in contemporary African creations born from their shared heritage.
From varsity friends to successful business partners, Andile and Zizipo's collaboration resonates with art collectors around the world. Their deep-rooted cultural beliefs inspire their creations and give them a uniquely African shape and texture.
I'm Zizipo Poswa.
I am Andile Galvane.
And we're the co-founders of Imiso Ceramics.
We actually met at the university first. And you were working at a different studio and I was working at a different studio. So we then decided that, well, we should then establish a company which will basically be like a design house.
We didn't have any funds to basically start. We had enough to pay the rental and the deposit, and that was it. But we had the skills and the knowledge, and we collaborated to make our vision happen.
We come from a background where you do not work alone. There's no one person alone. You are a child, you are raised by the whole community. You are part of this community by someone coming in and say, I have the cow, I have the land, I have the seeds, and then everyone plow together for the better harvest would be shared amongst people. This is all built based on that. And so collaboration really is, for us, how it works, it is the core of it, is that each one have a different skill set and different passion and a different energy. So that helped us, and I think collaboration, it helps you to be able to achieve things in a much clear and distinct and a much more intentional way in that sense.
Every artist has their way of getting themselves into the right space to be able to create. Andile's process comes from his cultural heritage.
This is basically my nest, as I would like to call it. There's a key thing for me when I start my day is I have to basically just collect my energy and then clean the space. Yeah, so I choose to burn impebo because it sort of cleans the energy, and for me it's something that's very important because it's key to ground myself. It's key to basically just to bring my energy into the space so I can start my day and create. I've been playing this with my wife, Alexis. This is one of the sounds. So from burning impebo and into the sound, and then that sort of bring the energy. So the sound is very soothing and meditative, helps you breathe. So basically the whole aim is we create these bespoke, beautiful objects out of clay that reflect our heritage and speaks of stories. Also, with the collective knowledge that we have as well, we do run master classes, workshops, and sort of invite and expose sort of young ones that maybe don't have access to understanding and knowing what art or creative or design is, because we come from such background as well.
I was born in Mthatha, so I studied there. But during the holidays, I used to go to the rural side where my mom was born. And that's where I got to experience my culture, basically. So this one is part of the Umthwalo series. I took part in a group show at Southern Guild. The theme was extraordinary. And what inspired me was my background, where I come from in the Eastern Cape. It was the women that raised me. It was the community that I was around. When I was still growing up, I used to do the normal girl chores, and I would go to the river and fetch some water and pluck some cow dung on the floor. All of those part of my culture, and I wanted to translate that into beautiful pieces. This piece has been fired already, so it has to go through 2 firing processes for it to be complete. So this is now the 3rd stage. I've built it, I let it dry, it goes into the kiln, and now I'm gonna glaze it.
With different stages of ceramics where you have accidents and some things don't make it to the kiln, so that's one of the challenges or things that are unique about us as makers of ceramics, that not everything makes to the to the final stages. But then the important thing about it is that it teaches you resilience, it teaches you to never to give up because you start again. But the excitement and anticipation when you open your kiln, you like, I can't sleep. That's what happens. Like, I can't wait to see, because there's always experimentation. There's always, to expect something that you don't know. Then the minute you open, it's like, whoa, you got like these crazy surprises. I've come across with people where they like thought, okay, well, you just dream of this thing or just started making and then that's it and it becomes it. No, it actually way beyond that. My process being from the dream, which is the idea that you have, and then to the sketchbook. So now that's the actual planning. So they have to be an intention. They need to have some sort of a message, whatever that you're trying to communicate. So there's a narrative. So you come up with a theme, title, and what is it that you're trying to bring across. So the final product is really a byproduct of the whole process. This is a place where we tell stories. So the pieces that you see here that are created here, they are conversational pieces. Really, they are pieces that to bring healing and bring joy and bring love to your home.
So as the Xhosa proverb says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together.
Working together, they are telling rich stories in the one-of-a-kind art pieces that have become their speciality and their signature.
Imiso's creations are collector's items admired around the world. Coming up, Ayanda and Guhle show you how to transform your bathroom into an affordable and stylish self-care sanctuary.
Create the bathroom of your dreams without overspending. With Pep Home, you'll find everything you need to transform your space into a relaxing retreat, from plush towels to calming candles and clever organizers.
Oh, wow. Everything about the space is giving self-care goals. Are you seeing this, Kushne?
I'm obsessed, Ayanda.
My non-negotiables in my dream home spa is a massive tub full of bath salts and all the bubble baths you can imagine on the planet.
Yes, my ideal at-home spa has to include candles, very lush towels as well, and a nice warm bubble bath.
So many Pep Home items make a space feel luxurious, but for the bathroom specifically, I absolutely love their candles. They come in different pillar sizes, different colors.
The one Pep Home item that makes a bathroom instantly feel luxurious has to be the rug. Just the colors, right? And the texture of the rug within itself. I love the brown and white all woven in together. It gives you that outdoorsy feel, but make it homey. I love it. The self-care habit that I wish I made more time for has to be skin care, Ayanda. Day in, day out, we are in makeup. So just taking a moment to fully mask up, you know, put on a nice mask on your face, a nice toner, a cleanser, go through the entire process just for your skin to rejuvenate and for you to feel at home in your own body. These Pep Home baskets are perfect for keeping all your bath time treats in check, okay? I am talking about your scrubs, lotions, hair masks, you name it.
The one thing they say is knowledge is power, and I definitely wish that I just had more time on my hands to open up a number of self-care books. That is self-care for myself because I'm teaching myself something, calming my brain as I do it as well. Now, for a self-care day, it's extremely important to look and feel comfortable. And how cute are these Alice bands that we have on? This look gives that I'm about self-care. From these plush towels, honestly, they are so soft, to the calming candles, a few key pieces from Pep Home, and voila, it's giving luxury spa on a budget. And now it is your turn to create a spa sanctuary at home.
Yes, you could win a 1,000 Rand Pep Home voucher to help you do just that.
All you have to do is tell us what Pep Home item can make your bathroom feel like a spa. Head on over to our social media pages and drop your answer using the hashtag #PepHomeExpress. But for now, happy relaxing and good luck.
Thank you so much for joining us as we've embraced the beauty of the art and design we find all around us. Please do catch the repeat of the show on Sunday morning at 8:30 a.m. But until next Tuesday at 6 p.m. right here on S3, take care and God bless.
Cozy up and chill time. Life's better with Pep Home.
Another feel-good production.